Hey, what's going on, guys? GFXLab, and I am fishing right now. And this is, you guys are watching Mindcraft, Mindcraft. It's a series that I do where I just play Minecraft and just talk about things that just come across my mind. They're not really structured, and I don't really talk too much about the game. I mostly just talk about, whatever I think about at the moment. And today I want to talk about dreams. Dreams being not the dreams that you have like aspirations and stuff like that. I'm talking about dreams as when you go to sleep and you wake up and you recall some of that. And for me, I've been recalling a lot of dreams. One being the last dream I had, or actually for the last few weeks or whatever, I've been having these crazy dreams where I'm back home in my hometown, and there's just crazy stuff happens. This last night when I was in my dream, I had actually drove into town, into like the city, because my hometown's actually just like a town outside of a town. So I went into the city, and I looked back home, and there was like storm clouds. So I was like, oh, whatever, it's gonna rain or something. And nothing really happened. And then when I came back home, and I came back to my parents' home, and my parents' home was literally like torn to pieces. It was all shattered, and it was broken down. And I was like freaking out because I was like, my parents. And I was running in there, I was trying to look for my parents and in all the rubble. And my little brother, like, I couldn't find anybody. And I was looking around, and I was like struggling through all this stuff. And I was like, I was just freaking out. And I went around looking, like, all the neighbors. I started asking neighbors about my parents, and started asking them about, what's going on. They're like, a tornado just ripped through this town. And they were like, just came all of a sudden, and it freaked everyone out. And everyone was getting, their homes were getting just destroyed. And so I was like, oh my God, and then finally I found my parents, and we didn't even have a basement back in my old house, but apparently like they had a basement because tornadoes had become more of a frequent thing. And my dad finally, I was finally able to help my dad like dig themselves out of the rubble. And I helped them like remove themselves from the rubble, and got everyone out from the basement. And I went to go get some supplies. I wanted to go back into town and get a bunch of stuff, so that we can start to build the home back up again, or like at least have a place to stay, or at least secure some supplies, just because we lost everything. So I went back home. I went back to town, and I was looking for something, and then all of a sudden, I don't know, for some reason I went to the store to look for a bike, because my dad's car had been just totally demolished. So I went in and I started looking for a bike, and I started looking for some nice, like some carts and stuff like that we could use to start taking out the rubble. And I went upstairs. I'm going upstairs now. That's what I was thinking of. Anyway, so I was in that store, and I decided that I was going to I started looking more and more back into the bikes section or whatever. And as I started going into the bike section, I was digging deep into the store stuff, and I was just like digging around, and all of a sudden I look outside, and I just see there was a Burger King like right across the street, and this Burger King started sliding towards the store. And I was like, oh my God, what's going on? And this huge Burger King, like, so I started running out the back door, and there was an exit door, and I ran past all the whoa. God damn it. Anyway, there was a McDonald's, not a McDonald's, a Burger King like right outside the store, and I was freaking out. because it was sliding into the store, and I was like, what's going on, what's going on? So I ran over and I grabbed the and I should probably go and grab some cooked fish and eat that, because my health's getting low. Anyway, I ran back I was running out the back of the door, and I looked back, and there's a huge, massive tornado, like, ripping across the sky, and it starts to tear apart the store right behind me that I was just in. So I was freaking out, and I didn't know what to do. So what I ended up doing was I started running to these apartment complexes, and they looked like they were all like metal, and the tornado was like right behind me, but it wasn't like going towards me. It was still like sitting on the floor, like just tearing apart that store. And I was just running and running and running. I saw everybody running. The whole city was running, and then all of a sudden, like, I see this dog. And all these dogs, like a whole like horde of dogs, run past me, and they all, like, except for one, this one dog, he like stayed by his home, like he ran back to his owner, and he was like barking at his owner, and his owner was like, you know, like trying to grab him so he could, you know, go into his house or whatever, to his apartment, so they could go whatever was going on. And I was like, oh my God, I was like, you got to get out of here. I was screaming at him. I was like, your dog's trying to tell you to leave. And I was screaming at the guy. And so I started running out into the neighborhood, and I actually like found someone's skateboard. So I jumped on the skateboard. I started skating like down the street as fast as I could, because I don't know, for some reason it was working faster than it was me running. And I skated down the street, and eventually I got to a park where I couldn't skate anymore. So I just kept running and running and running. And then all of a sudden I looked behind me to see that tornado, and that tornado had grown like a mile wide behind me. And I didn't run that far, but it seemed like maybe it was another tornado behind it. But the tornado it was like purple, and it was just spinning and ripping apart the city itself. And I started seeing the earth like start to break into like a circular pattern, and the city started to lift up. And I was freaking out, and I was still on the part where it was getting just, I was still on the land, and I could see like a cliff edge as I started running more and more out into the city. And then finally there was a person who was like on a four-wheeler, like a ATV, and there was 3 other people like strapped onto it. And I was like, do you guys got room? They were like, just jump on. And I jumped on the back, and they started like going like just trying to circle the edge of the edge of the circular like cliff that was being lifted up into the sky. And I was like, there was an opening, and finally we got out. Like there was a very like just an edge of an opening, and we got over like the little cliffside, and then finally like that piece just lifted. And then I found my car for some reason outside, like way out in the city, and I got into it, and I started driving as fast as I could back home. And we were way outside the city, so I'm like driving as fast as I could, and then I drive back home, and I guess I had picked up supplies or something, but I got back home and I had supplies, and when I got back home, there was another tornado that just started touching down like in that area, and it was just ripping apart my home, my parents' home, and I was just freaking out. And then finally, like when right before I woke up, I saw a huge like tornado coming right down on top of everything. It was just like literally, I don't know if it was the same tornado from the other from the tornado behind it, in the city, but it just seemed to like just start to rip apart everything. And right before it hit me, I woke up, and I woke up and I was just like, wow, what was that? And then I went online and I started looking it up, and I was like, what is this dream about? And it's just like tearing apart like everything. And then there's like a website that was talking about how it how dreams are kind of symbolic of what your mind's going through, and how your mind's trying to process things. And my mind was trying to pretty much tell me that that part of my life is getting taken away, or part of my life is being destroyed so that new life can occur. And I'm like, how does that happen? Why does it have to do with my parents? Like, why do my parents have to be dragged into this? Is there an idea from my parents, or what is it? If that's even, whoa. I was like, what would involve my parents in tornadoes and all this? Like, and then I realized, maybe it's just in their instance, or in the way that they interpret dreams, that was true for them. Maybe it wasn't true for me. I don't know. But I was just thinking about it, like, what could that tornado mean to me? Or what could that dream mean to me, if anything? If maybe it was just because I've been listening to a lot of Tool, and there's this one song, and it's about how California is gonna get destroyed, and the song is like talking about how Mother Earth is gonna swallow up California, and there's everyone's gonna pretty much get destroyed, all the fake facades over there in California. And it's a pretty awesome song. I love that song. I love Tool so much, and I've been just obsessed with that song recently. I don't know why. And I wish I could tell you guys what it was called. That I just remember the lyrics. The guy is like, I want to watch it all go down. I want to watch it. I don't know. If you guys know that part of the lyrics, you guys know what I'm talking about. But that's, if you know what that song is, write it in the lyrics. Actually, I think it's called Vicarious. Yeah, that's what it's called. It's called Vicarious. And the song is pretty much about how Mother Earth is going to redeem itself. And oh man, I need to go back to the ether sometimes. Maybe I can fix that portal. I don't know if I have the ether mod. I don't think I have the ether mod installed anymore. But maybe sometime soon I'll go. Let's go into the ether world. Not in the ether world, into the nether world. I haven't been there in a while. I don't know if it's different on because this map was made way back in the day, before the new maps were, before all the new stuff was added. I don't know if they'll actually have like pigment and all that, but yeah, like I've just been obsessed with that song, and I don't know why, but my dreams that I've also been obsessed with the Actors Guild. Or not the Actors Guild, inside the Actors Studio, which is it's a show about people, actors just experiencing the world for themselves. Oh, and the reason why there's all these things scattered around is because I actually tried to sleep on a bed in here and just got destroyed. And this is a terrible spot for the netherworld. Let's see, I don't even remember what was down here. Oh, and here's some pigmen. These guys are always a joy. But yeah, I was just thinking, like, what does that mean to me? Like, what would the whole tornado thing mean? And maybe I'm just accepting that, maybe the ideas of my parents and the ideas of, what's been going on for the past who knows how long. Maybe I'm starting to grow into my own self, my own being. Maybe I'm starting to accept like a whole new life because I've been doing amazingly well in my own life, and I feel like maybe there's a reason why I'm having all these dreams, and maybe there's a reason why I am, I'm starting to, I don't think there's anything. Yeah, I think this is like, I should probably build a new netherworld portal, because it's just not interesting. There's not anything cool down here, at least not in this portal. I'll make a new netherworld portal so that way we can have something cool to look at. But I just feel like I need to do some soul searching and figure out why I'm having these reoccurring dreams, because it's not just one time. One time I had a dream that I had a dream once where, and I don't know if I want to say this one because this one's kind of crazy, but I had this dream once where I was at my parents' house and there was a tornado that came down, and it was at night, and I started running into my house because I don't know why I was running in, but I just felt like something bad was about to happen. So I look into my house. I mean, my parents' house, and I started running downstairs. I mean, it's not a 2-story. What am I talking about? Anyway, I run into my parents' house, and then all of a sudden, this tornado touches down outside, and I'm running trying to find like a spot where there is, because I've learned that, I used to be so interested in meteorology and storm chasing. I actually wanted to be a storm chaser. It was like when I was a kid, I was like, I want to be a storm chaser. I want to go out there and risk my life to help people, predict the weather better. Obviously the weather is not predictable at all. So if you're a person who is a meteorologist, you're pretty much trying to predict the future. And I just remember seeing this tornado touch down and felt really bad about it. And my dad went outside to make sure that to see how far the tornado was away. And I went outside and I was watching the door, because the door was like slamming open and shut. So I ran over and grabbed the door, and I was holding it open for my dad so he could run in and run back out immediately. So my dad, he was staring in the sky, and he was like, "What's going on?" And then I grabbed the door and I was like, "Come on in." I was yelling at him, I was screaming at him, but he couldn't hear me through the wind. And then all of a sudden I see this huge, massive dark figure, I don't even know how to explain it. It looked like a human, but it wasn't. And it came down and it had this huge, massive, it kind of had the scythe or whatever from the Grim Reaper, and it swiped at my dad. And my dad started running towards the door, and it hit the porch, and then the porch started to fall down. And I grabbed my dad's arm, and I couldn't pull him into the door because he was getting sucked in by the tornado. And I was trying to bring my dad in, but my mom was like, my dad was telling me to let go, and I was like, no, I'm not gonna let go. And it was just so. It was so scary because I was trying so hard, and then my mom was like, she just ran into the house, and I was telling my mom to help me, and she just so scared she couldn't do anything. And then my dad just he pushed my arm away. He let go of me, and then all of a sudden he got thrown into the tornado, and the door shut so loud and so hard that the lock just slammed itself. The lock actually locked itself, and I couldn't open it again. And then I started running into my house to try and find my mom. And then I look for my mom, and she's not there. And then finally, I find my mom, and she's inside this closet. And there's in that closet there's pipes that lead down into the ground. So I was like, okay, we need to hold on to these pipes because these are the only things that are grounded in the house. And I was looking for my little brother. My little brother, he's probably, my little brother's older than you guys for sure. He's probably I think he's 25 right now. And I was telling my little brother, where are you at? I was screaming for him, but apparently he wasn't there. and I was just like looking around, then all of a sudden I ran over to the door to see if the tornado was done, and right when I opened the door, I see that figure again, like look me right in the face, and then I shut the door, and like I could feel it like rushing the door, and right before I hit the door, I woke up. And that was like 2 weeks ago, and last night I had that crazy one with the tornado in the city, like tearing apart the city, and I don't know what these all these dreams have in tandem. But I was reading online that tornadoes mean that your life, or you're letting go, or something, part of your existence, or the way you feel about life is being destroyed, and something new will come from it. And I don't know what that is. It's scary, but at the same time, it's a new beginning. And I feel like maybe it's the new beginning of me as an adult. Maybe it's me coming into fruition, and me coming into the world, and finally accepting things for what they are. And maybe I'm actually like finding my way. And maybe this is just, me let my mind trying to let go of all of the conditioning that I've acquired through, just my parents and all the people that I've grown up with. And maybe that's it, or maybe it's something else. Maybe it's a dietary thing, maybe it's, who knows what it is. But I definitely don't think it's a huge deal, but it's a dream is a dream. A dream is real life, though. To me, like, a dream is as real of a situation as any. To me, like, the world, your entire life is a dream. Oh, and I'm just dodging these guys like the Matrix. But to me, your whole life is a dream, and pretty much like you exist to experience it and have fun. And then the sooner you figure out that having fun is actually what life is all about, then you start to enjoy things, even if they're scary. I think that I've I don't understand what that dream was about. I don't understand a lot of things. I don't understand what's going to happen tomorrow. I don't understand if there's actually going to be a tornado. I don't understand. I've had a lot of dreams where the world's come to an end. I've had tons of those dreams. And I don't know if that has something to do with my mentality, or my new mentality, or all the things that I've learned, or if it has to do with me just having a bad nightmare or something. But it's been happening a lot recently, and maybe that has something to say, or maybe it has something to do with some situation that I've been in, or not. I just don't understand. But I'll figure it out eventually. I'm also I'm not just running around aimlessly. I'm looking at like my structure of this of this building. I'm trying to figure out like how I want to set up this structure, or this building, so that it can look way more cool, so it can kind of mimic a like a skyscraper. If you guys haven't seen this, I can show you from outside what it looks like. It looks pretty cool. Like, I want it to look like a legit skyscraper, and maybe have some cool features, try and build an elevator or something like that. That was what I was kind of trying to do with the waterfall, but it didn't work out as I thought it would. I was going to put like some boats, but I don't know how to make a waterfall or an elevator. I'll go check out some tutorials. And down here I was going to make like an incinerator and a downstairs like club type deal. But that's pretty much the thought process that I've been having recently. I've also been watching a lot of the behind the actor studio, and I've learned a lot about YouTube. I've learned a lot about how people respond, and the reason why people watch videos or watch people who act. And I definitely want to take those ideas and flesh them out in my own series, in my own videos, and so that you guys can enjoy them. You guys can enjoy the world through my eyes, and maybe you'll find something interesting, or maybe you'll have some insight for me, or maybe I can have some insight for you. I don't know. It's gonna be a growing process. I know, like in the future, in the beginning, I had a really funny idea of making remixes and stuff like that for my channel, but I'm in a middle zone right now of what I want to do with my YouTube channel. But for now, I think that, you know, these little talks and me walking around aimlessly pretty much do what I want them to do. I don't really need to focus, especially on Minecraft. But anyway, I hope you guys have an epic day, epic night. If you guys have something you want me to talk about in Minecraft, I'll consider them, but probably for the most part, I'm just going to continue to do whatever I think I want to talk about, because I think the next time I'm going to talk about something, I think I'm going to cover something a little more. I think I'm going to cover, I don't want to say it because I might not be in the mood to do it. Yeah, I'll let you guys know what I'm going to cover next time, because the next time will probably be, I don't even want to say it. I don't want you guys to think that there's going to be something super crazy. I won't even mention it to you guys. But if you guys enjoy this series and you guys want to see more, just give me a like and favorite, and I will upload more often. And I don't know if you guys want more like daily uploads of Minecraft, I will try. But for me, like I just do this series when I think I'm in the mood to do it. But if you guys want to see more of just me doing Minecraft and me playing the game, then I have a series up right now that is called Minecraft Survival, and I'm like 4 episodes deep. You guys can check that out if you want. I'm probably more vocal about the game, and I'm just more into the game, so you guys can check that out if you want. For now, I hope you guys have an epic day, epic night. Let me know what you guys think about the dreams, and let me know if you guys have had any crazy nightmares or anything that has recently been happening to you in the comment section. And if not, I hope you guys have an epic night or epic day. Peace out.